Hey everybody, Tanya from Colorado. Have you ever had somebody make a really rude or inappropriate comment on your Facebook page, your Facebook Lives, or your Facebook ads? I'm curious to know whether you have. And if you have, then you have encountered either a creeper, a troll, or a hater. And today's DDOA, I'm going to cover ways to handle all three types of people. And I'm also going to help define them so that we can differentiate between the three. And then I'm giving you some tips on how to deal with them. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Tanya Humphrey. I am one of the mentors in our Fast Track community here at attractionmarketing.com. And as you're hopping on, go ahead and drop your name and where you're coming in from in the comments. I can say hello. I see that some people are coming on, so let me know where you guys are coming in from today as you're hopping on. Also, if you're catching the replay, let me know that you're catching the replay as well so I can come back and, answer questions and comments and things like that. So let me know that you're watching the replay as well. All right, so this is a question that is asked quite a bit in our community. Is it normal to deal with creepers, haters, and trolls? And what do I do about it? It's asked quite a bit. So I thought we would cover that today and put some of that to rest and hopefully get some info out that's going to help you guys. So, all right, I do see people hopping on. Hi, Sadaf. Hey, Maddie. Hey, Chuck. I see you guys are all hopping on. Awesome. If you guys are leaving comments, I can't see them. So hopefully I'm going to be able to see the comments today. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into this. First of all, let's define each of the three different types of people, right? So you've got creepers. Creepers are people that are coming onto your page. They aren't there to learn what you're there to teach, right? So they're following your page, but they're not there to learn the information that you're putting out. They're not there to get the value from your page that you're hoping that they're gonna get. And normally they're there kind of using Facebook as a dating site, and women deal with creepers a lot. But I also know some men in the community who also deal with creepers. So it's not just women that deal with it, it's men as well. But they're people that really aren't there for the value that you're putting out. And they're really there to either make you uncomfortable, harass you, or they want to date you. That's a creeper. Okay, a troll is somebody who comes on and their sole intent is to try to get a rise out of either you or the community that you've built by making comments that are like outlandish, probably not truthful, putting out some, non-factual based things as well as gossip. That's a troll, right? And so their sole purpose is to try to get a rise out of you. And a hater, if you've got a hater, then you've made it. You're doing something right because they are targeting you specifically and they're making comments about you specifically that are just not mean. They're basically the bullies of the internet. That's what the haters are. And here's the thing. As you're building online and building a bigger and bigger brand and a bigger audience, you will absolutely at some point come across one of these three or all three at some point. In fact, in the Fast Track community, and those of you from Fast Track, I see you on, confirm for me and let me know if you agree. But in the Fast Track community, we have this saying that if you don't have any haters, then you haven't made it yet, right? Once you have haters and you have comments like that, then you must be doing something right and you've made it. So if you're in the Fast Track community, let me know in the comments, do you agree that at some point you absolutely deal with one of these three or all of these three? And I'm freaking out because I don't think I can see the comments. So sorry, you guys. If you are commenting and I'm not replying, it's because I can't see them. So I'll go back later and reply. But still let me know whether you agree with me or not. All right, so here's the next steps. How do you deal with these types of people, right? How do you handle it? And I'm going to tell you there's kind of a two-part process to this. So number one, it is a mental game, right? There's a mental piece to dealing with people that are just coming after you for no apparent reason, right? Or hitting on you or whatever. And so the mental part of it is just as important as the actions that you can take. And I'm going to go over some actions as well. But let's start with the mental part. So first of all, you have to keep calm and keep your sense of humor with all this, right? I mean, that's kind of like the joke that we have in the Fast Track community of, well, you've made it now, right? Just keeping that sense of humor. And I actually have this meme. Okay, this is total sidebar. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but for people that are creepers. So you guys, literally, I have had everything from marriage proposals to really inappropriate comments on my lives to pictures I'm not going to talk about, like just keeping it real. Okay, and so it started to wear on me a little bit mentally, so I decided to make it a little bit of a humorous thing. And for those of you with kids, you might have seen Megamind. Okay, and there's this part in there where the main character, someone goes, "I love you," and he goes, "I love you too, random citizen." And it just cracks me up. And so literally anytime I get those kinds of comments from creepers, that's what goes through my head. It's my way of keeping my sense of humor. And it's my way of keeping calm and not letting them get me all riled up. So keep your calm and keep your sense of humor and make a joke about it, right? And get into a community who gets you and understands you and is going through the same thing, and make jokes with them about it, because it just keeps it a little bit light and it keeps it off your mind mentally, right? And then here's the other thing. You are running a business online. That's why you're there. You're there to run a business. You get to decide who's part of your community. You get to decide who's part of your page. And you get to decide who you let into your brand and your world and who's right for that. So don't feel like you have to be nice to people who are like this at all. You don't. You don't have to even interact with them at all. And it is perfectly okay to just remove them from your world. So mentally, don't feel like you have to be nice just because somebody's interacting on your page, because you don't, okay? You really, really don't. They're not there for the purposes that you're there for. So don't give them the time of day. That's the other mental piece of this. Okay, and I promised you a few actions, so I'm gonna give you a few actions that you can take, tangible actions that you can take. So number one, and this is a piece of advice I give every single time when it comes to creepers, and it's pretty simple. It's this: hide the comment and then ban them from your page. And I take it one step further, because I had some people from my business page actually try to seek me out on my personal page. So I also block them. I'll go search and block them from my personal page as well. So there's no way they can find me on business or personal. So that's a two-step process for me. And I hide the comment. I don't delete them, because believe it or not, they can help your algorithm. Because the comment's still there and you haven't deleted it, but no one can see it. So that's how I handle creepers, and to me, that's the only way to handle them, right? Because they're not there for the purposes that you're there for. If you have a troll who's maybe spreading some untruths or some gossip or putting out things that just aren't factually accurate, we see this a lot on ads, right? About the network marketing industry, people will put out pyramid scheme and things like that. One of the ways you can actually combat them, besides just hiding and blocking, which is always an option, is you can put out things that are factually based about the industry and educate. Now, somebody who's a troll probably isn't going to hear it, but here's what happens. Sometimes when you do that, other people who are seeing your ads will come to your defense, or they will start adding to the facts that you put in the comments. So it does help the algorithm, because you've got comments going. And then you also have, that you understand the people that are going to support you, the people that are your people, the people who get you. And so it is a way to do it. It is a way to combat. Just make sure you use facts, make sure you're educating them on where they just aren't accurate, right? On the comments that they're making. So the third tip for you, and I want to make sure I don't forget them. If you do choose, this is the third tip, if you do choose to engage with somebody, right, where you maybe are educating or being factually based, don't let them bait you, right? So keep your calm, keep your head about you. Don't get into like a name calling war or anything like that, because that's exactly what they want. So don't give them what they want. Keep it factually based, keep it calm, and keep it professional, right? So that's my other piece of advice if you are going to actually engage. And then my last piece of advice is this. Use the stuff that happens, right? This crazy stuff that happens, and create content. So for example, like this live, right? I mean, I've had some crazy stuff happen on my page, and I've used it to create content. I've done a live on this topic before on my page. I actually wrote a blog on how to deal with toxic people after my first hater told me that he hated my voice and I must be a liberal snowflake. So that was funny to me. And so I wrote a blog called How Successful People Deal with Toxic People. And then I did a live on that. And then I wrote an email about it. So what I'm saying is take these experiences, keep yourself lighthearted, and then create content and help other people who maybe aren't ready to deal with it the way that you are, because you're maybe a little further along in the process. All right, guys, so I'm sure there are comments, and I hate that I can't see them. I will go back and respond to them for sure. Thanks so much for joining. That's it for today. And today is Friday. Have an amazing weekend. We will be back on Monday. Thanks, guys. Bye.